Well, good evening once more. We're back. We're back out on the van. Now, I've realised, and I do apologise for this, to some people anyway, that these videos have turned more into a sort of like a blog, really, haven't they? Rather than a how-to-do channel. Because that's what it was supposed to, that's what it was about. It was about how to do stuff. But the sort of things I'm doing here on the van, you can see anywhere on the internet anyway. Loads of people are doing it. So for those that are invested in the blog side of it and want to see the van go through the stages, I'm afraid to say this project, I think, is going to keep going along those lines, which means a lot of talking and not a lot of doing, which I'm really good at. That's talking and not a lot of doing, by the way. Anyway, this is where we are. Electrics, still waiting on a couple of bits for the electrics. I will show you how I wire it all in, and you can tear it apart if you want to, with comments and things like that. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it, not how it's supposed to be done. No, hold on, that didn't sound right, did it? I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. I'm not telling you how to do it, as always. So yeah, we will get to that. Hopefully that'll be in this particular video. But the first thing I'm going to do is to my floor. Now, I went with some 12mm ply on the floor, but because I'm going to add so much weight by using lots of ply elsewhere in the van for the seating and all of the rest of it, I've decided I'm going to take as much weight out in places that I can take weight out. And so I've got some 9mm ply now, and that's going down on the floor. Okay, so we're just doing what we can do. It won't make any odds because I'm going to add all of this ply somewhere else in the bus anyway. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to clear out the van, get everything out of it, lift this floor out, so it's not bolted in, but lift it out, and I'm actually going to bolt that in now. Now, I've got to cut some holes in the floor for a table and that kind of stuff, but I don't know where the table's going yet, so I'm going to cut the hole whilst it's bolted in when I need to do it for the table. We've got to cut some holes for where the gas is, but we'll have a look at that when everything's cleared out of the way and the floor is down. So I'm not going to bolt down the back bit just yet. Okay, rambling over, let's get on, clear out the van, get this wood in and actually screw it down to the floor. I'll see you in a sec. Right, no rambling, quick explanation. So floor is going all of the way out to the level here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put lino on the floor afterwards and then edge it with a bit of aluminium like I've done with the carpet there. Okay, but problem is then the level of this floor here, as in the raised bits of this, is slightly higher than where my floor's going to go. So all I'm going to do is just pack it out. I've got a bit of hardboard left over, so we can get the idea that the hardboard will go underneath there perfectly. So I'm just going to cut a slither down just to support this. Okay, it doesn't need any strength, it's just got to support it up. Okay, carry on. Check out the floor, yes! We have a floor bolted in. Randomly put screws in where I can put them in, so there's no flex in it anywhere. Fantastic. Now bear in mind, we've got to go under the bus at some point or other. I haven't been under it for ages. We've still got to patch up. We've still got to underseal all of the welding that we've done at the back end of the bus. So while I'm under there, any screws that go through the floor, I can go and check them, and all of the old holes for the floor as well, I can go and seal them all up from underneath. So that's fantastic. So what we've got to do, we've got to drill some holes in the floor now. Now, gas is heavier than air. So where you have gas in something, you need to drill a hole just in case it leaks, and it will leak out the bottom. So I need one under the burner on the fridge. I need one under where the gas bottle's going to go. I think the gas bottle's going to go around about there. And I'm going to drill one in the middle because I'll have some gas piping in the middle. Why not? And I've also got to drill one more hole for my drainage. So my sink drainage is going to go outside. I'm not going to have it inside. Okay, so we've got to drill 4 holes in there. Now I've got a lovely bit of stainless tubing here. That's all I've got left. I don't know what it was for, but we'll use that for our holes. Okay, so I'll just mark out where I'm going to drill them, and then I'll make some holes that size all the way through the bus. And again, when we go underneath, we can seal up from underneath, can't we? Okay, okay, yes, let's go. So we have cut our second vent for the fridge, and drilled some holes in the floor, cut some holes in the floor where we need the holes in the floor. So we need the holes where the gas is going to be, or potentially where the gas is going to be. One of them is for the drain, and the vent. I need a second vent in the side of the van for the fridge. The way the fridge works, it needs a vent at the bottom and the top. So I've already got one at the top, so I've just cut this one into the bottom. Yeah, okie doke. I've just painted it all where it's all bare metal, so I've got to wait for that to dry. So we'll get on and do something else. Right, so we are back on the job again, and a little bit hungover at the minute, to be fair. So we're struggling somewhat, but we are starting just to get an idea of our cabinet and how to make it. I still don't have the outer bit of wood for it, but I'm just starting to make the carcass, because I've got to make a little cavity for the fridge to go into, and we've got to heat proof it and seal it all at the back end. So I'm making it out of what I've got kicking around at the moment. So I'm going to have a support wall here, this one, and this is going to have to change, but it's in the right place. Okay, so start to get an idea about what it might look like inside, and that's the size of my worktop on there, which is a reasonable size. It looks pretty good, actually. I quite like that. So cabinet. So all I've done, I'll cut a bit was, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll move the worktop in a minute. I'm just put it on there just to get an idea about the size of these two here. Okay, so that I'll get it all out of the way and I'll carry on. We're back on it. I'm going to try and make this video shorter than the last one. So very, very quickly, fridge. It's a three-way fridge, 12 volt gas and 240 volt as well. Can't see down the back here because it's a bit hot in a minute. But basically, back end of a fridge gets very hot. So you need circulation. So the hot air is going to go out the top vent. So you need a bottom vent to draw in cold air or fresh air. Okay, and I've cut that into the bus as low as I can possibly get it, right on the floor. And that's going to work perfectly, I think. The fridge has got to be in a certain size cabinet and bolted down so it doesn't move while we're moving. Now the cabinet here comes very, very close to the burner. So this is where the gas burner is for the fridge, if it's running off gas. So this area is going to get hot. And it says you've got to insulate it there. So what I've done, this is my panel here. I've just got a little bit of tin and screwed it on to the side of the wood. Okay. Now think about that. If the tin gets hot, obviously the wood is burnable, but the tin isn't. There's no oxygen between the tin and the wood, so even if it got really hot, at worst it would scorch. I hope it doesn't get that hot, but we can try it when it's all bolted in, can't we? So what I've done is I've cut a bit of tin plate out and screwed it through, just like so, hold it in place, and then I've ground the screws back off again. Okay, now apologies for not being able to video, or for not videoing while I'm actually doing things, but it takes me so long to do it, it's slowed me down too much. So I'm just going to video and show you how I've done it, steps along the way, and then you'll understand it, hopefully. So what we got to do, we got to build this cabinet and seal the back end of the fridge. So everything, nothing from the back end of the fridge can come out into the cabin. Okay, now the problem I have with mine is my top vent that was already in the bus is actually too wide for the fridge. So my cabinet, we're going to have to do it with a little bit of batten and things like that. But I'll show you it, how I've gone about the process when I've done it. Okay, so bear with me and I'm going to crack on for a little bit. Okay, so I've done the same on this side. So this side of the cabinet, but you can see I've only put a tiny little bit at the top here. Now I don't really need any of this at the top here, I don't think. However, the exhaust does come up right next to this, so it's no bother. But what I do need is I need this edge. for my top seal. So it's just easier to put a bit of a larger bit on. Easier? Well, may as well do. Okay, so let's put these into place and come back to you. What have we done? So I've made both the side panels for my little cabinet there. So this is a bit of a support wall really, but this one here is just for sealing of the back of the bus, back of the fridge. So they're all cut to shape. I've got my 2 little channels on the top here for bolting a bit of metal down afterwards to seal the top of it. And what I've done, I just got all of my bits of wood, and I found an old pot of varnish. Ooh. Oh, let's get comfortable. I found an old pot of varnish. So what I've done is I've just varnished, sealed them all. Okay, so they're waterproof now as well, which is good. I don't suppose they need to be, but why not, eh? And you can see I've just gone round the bit here of the floor as well. So my plan is to bolt this in. Now, I was umming and ahhing about the gas pipe, because the gas pipe's got to be fixed to the back of the fridge. And I was trying to figure out how to get it through the little hole that I've drilled for it. And I can't take any credit for this, but a fantastic idea from a mate. He said, well, why don't you slot it all the way along and then put a plug bit in the side once you've got it in, so we'll be able to slide the fridge in into position, and then put a plug back in the wood, which I'm going to do. A really good idea, that. So Dave, thank you very much. Always good for good ideas, eh? Yeah, so I'm actually now I'm at a point now, I think, where I can actually bolt this in. So I'm going to bolt it to the floor, bolt it to the back bit of wood there, and there's another bit of wood there which is bolted to the wood, so I'm going to screw this one to the wood as well. Okay, so I'm going to get them in there solid, and this is it. This weekend I really wanted to get the fridge in. What I have done as well is my wiring has got to come along here, so I'm going to put I got some really big tube as well in the bag of bits that I got, and so I sort of drilled a hole. You can't see that one, but that's because I'm looking in the wrong place. Oh, you still can't see it because it's too dark. I've put a hole for it, and I'm just going to run that across the bottom, hit the back. Okay, what else have I done? I've drilled a couple of holes here for gas, but I don't need to, I don't think, because I've put the vent on the floor anyway, so the vent is about as low as it can get, and there is a hole in this panel here. But I've put a couple of little drain holes in there anyway, which is good. Okay, and we've got one there as well. Okay, so I'll carry on, and I'll just screw it all into place, and then I'll come back to you. I've only gone and done it. I think I've gone and done it. Superb. Okay, so let me talk you through. And I'm deaf in one ear at the minute, which doesn't help. But cabinet is made. I put my kneeling on something very sharp here. I put my channel across the bottom for the wires to go underneath. Fantastic. I've got a couple of little drain holes there. And the lower vent is in. It's all completely sealed internally to the bus, and when the fridge goes in, then that plate is going to bolt. I've got 3 bolt holes that line up, and it's going to bolt onto a bit of foam on the back edge of the fridge, and a bit of foam across the top of the vent there as well, and then it will be completely sealed. It will. So I've cut a channel out, as I said earlier on. I've just got a bit of wood in there just supporting it at the minute, so I can put the gas pipe on and then slide it in. Now there is one more bit of batten that goes across the top there, but what I've got to do, I've got to put a bit of foam on the bottom of the fridge as well. And it'll be easier to do without the batten there. Okay, I can put the batten on afterwards, and I'll still be able to remove the fridge with that bit of batten on, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But it'll be a lot easier to put it in without it. Okay, look at that. We've made a bit of a mess. Oh dear. But you know, It's done. This has taken a long time, this has. And this is all bolted in. Bolted down both sides, and at the back and at the side there as well. And it will be supported when I get the front fascia on this as well, because I'll screw it to the front fascia. Right, I'm going to slide this fridge in. Oh no, I've got to turn the door around first. Oh, bollocks. Right, we're done now. So the fridge, I've swapped the fridge door around, so now it opens from this side. Fantastic. I fitted the gas pipe on as well then. So what the gas pipe is going to do is going to slide down. Ooh, this channel in there that I've made in the side cabinet, and then we'll block that off afterwards. Fantastic, that'll work great. I've got the wires then, so I've got 12 volt and 240 volt. And what I'm going to do, you need a torch, don't you? Oh, it's flat. Torch is flat. No. Hold on. Okay, so we've got our lights on in the bus now, so we can see what we're doing. So what I'm going to do with the wires, I'm going to make a small hole in my conduit there. I'm going to offer the fridge all the way up to the edge, and then I'm going to seal the wires at that point. And then as I push the fridge in, they'll just concertina up and lay on the floor down there, which will be fine. And then I'm going to poke them out of this side. Yokie doke. Okie doke. I'm not going to video it because it's a pain in the ass, but I'll show you in a second what we've done. Oh, we're so nearly there. Look at this. Fridge is in. Fridge is in. So I've levered it all off, and if you look, then my fascia panel's 15mm, which is the same size as this bit of wood. So lovely. Lovely down the sides as well. So that's fantastic. Sealing strips are down both sides down there, which is great. This is the heat-proof foam that you get with it, and there's some there as well. So all we've got to do is find our bloody exhaust pipe, which I've lost, but it'll be in here somewhere because I had it the other day. And then this, my panel here, will sit in like so, and bolt down up the sides and seal it at the back here, and I've got a foam pad on the back of it as well there, and it will seal it at the top, so it will be completely sealed in at the back end, heat proof down the side. I've got the pipe coming out down here then, if you see what I mean. So we've just got to make our packing plate to go back in there. And I've got the wires there. Oh, job is really, really nearly done. Fantastic. Well, it's done. The fridge is finally in. What a job that was. Ah, but it's a good job to get done, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to put this bit of batten across here. That's sealing it absolutely perfectly, that bit of metal there. Okay, so we've got our seals down the sides. Foam here, foam at the back of that. I've just whopped some, because obviously I've got metal bolted on metal there. I've just whopped a little bit of this stuff. I don't think it'll really need it, but you know, fantastic. And the fridge is in here, lovely and solid. It's exactly where it needs to be. We have one fridge in place. Brilliant. Oh, and I made my little channel up down there as well, so that's holding that in place, all back together again. Lovely. Oh, you know what? I really, really, really deserve a cup of tea. Let's have a cup of tea. And that is a big job done, I think. Fantastic. That's going to be the hardest thing to fit, I think, isn't it, really? To fit properly anyway. So I've got all of the wires, the gas pipe coming out the side, so we've got to figure that out. Now, gutted. I had a like a gas distributor little thing that came with the van. Oh, excuse me. And I think I binned it when I think when I threw away the old fridge and that sort of stuff. I reckon it went then, because I can't find it anywhere, which is a real shame, because I'm gonna have to get another one now. But who cares? We've got a fridge. Now, I did let myself down a little bit here. I don't think I got enough sort of tools and things like that out whilst I was doing the job. So on the next bit, what we do, we'll try and make a little bit more mess on the next bit. Now, the next bit is what we're going to do now, and I'm going to do this tonight just quickly. I'm going to face off those two panels there just with a bit of 9mm ply and bolt it on real nice and tight, so it will give me something to mount to as well. Okay, so I'll get all of the old insulations that's kicking around. I'll chuck a load of insulation in there just because I've got some. And yeah, I'll just cut some boards to shape. I'm going to have to do it in 2 boards because it's not flat. So a board at the bottom and a board at the top. Okay, so I'm going to get that done now and I'll come right back to you. Just to give me an idea now, so I'm on fire tonight, so I'm going to keep going. What I can do is wire up the 240 for the fridge and run the rest of the wires through the channel where they're meant to go. And then I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up and see where we are. Okay, so with the fridge, I'm just going to put a plug underneath here for it. Yeah, and then another big job we've got to do is the gas bottle, because the gas bottle we've got to seal the bloody gas canister in as well. But we'll think about that. We'll think about that. Okay, so let me get on. Stop talking to me.